clinics. Welcome to the groundbreaking ceremony for the South Hillsborough Community-Based Outpatient Clinic. It is my honor to be today's Master of Ceremonies. At this time, I would ask those of you who are able to stand to please do so for the presentation of colors by the East Bay High School Color Guard. Please remain standing after the presentation of the colors for the Pledge of Allegiance, the National Anthem, and the invocation. Please present the colors.
Carry, colors. Forward, march. Backward, march. Colors, hold. Present, colors.
Now I'd like to invite Stetson University vocal performance major, Mr. Christian Martinez, who will now sing our national anthem. And a special thanks to him and congratulations. I believe you're graduating from high school today. Congratulations. All right. Your first round.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, where so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wrinkling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Cover, march. Colors, hold. Up.
Dear God, and Creator and Sustainer of us all, whom our fathers put their trust in while forming this country, we thank you for your providential hand in the history of our country. We invoke your presence and blessing upon this auspicious occasion. We beseech you, Lord, for your blessing upon this groundbreaking ceremony, as we continue to fulfill the promise of President Abraham Lincoln to care for him who has borne the battle and for his widow and his orphan. We thank you for your hand of blessing upon the construction of our new community-based outpatient clinic to serve the veterans of South Hillsborough. We seek your help in successfully completing this project and ask for your wisdom and discernment to be showered upon each of those who work behind this project. Enlighten their minds and strengthen their hands, so this facility will be a place for our veterans to experience your healing in their body and spirit. Bless all who have contributed their time and resources for this good cause. As we gather here, we ask for your continued blessing upon all our veterans and all the brave men and women who continue to serve our country. Continue, O Lord, to show forth your rich hand of mercy upon all this and upon the leadership of our James A. Haley VA Hospital. We ask all these things in your precious and holy name. Amen.
Maybe we should be baling hay instead of breaking ground, but nevertheless, when this is all finished, we're going to have a state-of-the-art, beautiful clinic here for our veterans to use in South Hillsborough County. So, you know, I want to say good morning and thank you all for being here on this wonderful day. And, you know, on behalf of the hospital and on behalf of Hokinson Companies Incorporated, and to all our local elected officials, congressional representatives, veteran service organizations, our military representatives, and community members in general, I want to welcome you to the future home of the South Hillsborough VA Community Outpatient Clinic. And I want to give a special thanks at this moment for Congressman Buchanan for being here today and adjusting his schedule so he could attend. So thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you being here. You know, we really appreciate everyone's support because clinics like this do not get accomplished by themselves. And so I want to thank all of the local folks that have helped us push this clinic along and get to this important day. And you know, we're just as excited as you are to get this critically necessary clinic in this community. You know, at Haley, we have clinics scattered around our catchment area, but this was one area we did not have a clinic in with a large number of veterans. And while we're one of the busiest VAs in the country, as David said, over 93,000 patients served, not counting our active duty military, which we also served between 3,000 and 4,000 of them last year. But we have over 200,000 veterans in our catchment area, and you know, it includes Hillsborough, Hernando, Pasco, and Polk counties. So having this clinic here is very important, and it'll be set up to serve a minimum of 10,000 veterans that get care in our hospital. So we're very excited about that. It improves access to care. It helps veterans not have to travel as far for the care that they get, and the quality care that they've earned and deserve. So, you know, with that goal in mind, just so you know, people ask me a lot, what is your strategic plan? And you know, I'm an engineer by trade, so I actually like to build things. But that's actually not my strategic goal. The goal is I want every veteran in our catchment area who is eligible for VA care to get it from the VA and to choose us for the care that they have so rightly earned and deserve. And this clinic is a testament to our commitment and the promise that we keep the veterans to provide care as part of your earnings from being in the military and the sacrifices that you've made. So we're very excited to be in this area, serving Riverview, Ruskin, Sun City, Apollo Beach, and all the other communities in this part of the county. By the end of next year, this community-based clinic will provide primary care, women's primary care, which is our largest growing demographic of veteran, by the way, home-based primary care for those that are too infirm to travel on a regular basis, mental health care, audiology, specialty care, physical therapy, pharmacy, lab, and radiology services such as MRI, CT, ultrasound, x-rays. You'll be able to do all that at this clinic. And so having to travel to the mother station at James A. Haley Hospital, a lot of those things that for people here that are in this area won't have to do that. They can get it right here. So what I want to say to the veterans of Hillsborough County that live in this area, this clinic is coming here to honor you. It's to honor you for the service that you have given to your country and the sacrifices that you have made to protect our way of life. You know, every day at the VA, we're working to better serve our nation's heroes, and we look forward to serving you at this state-of-the-art facility when it's finished. As we get this building off the ground, I want to thank you for continuing to make the James A. Haley Hospital your medical center of choice. To everyone else that is living and working in this wonderful community, thank you so much for warmly welcoming us to your neighborhood. We look forward to moving in, and we really look forward to being a good neighbor with you. So I want to thank everyone for being here today, and I want to thank everybody who made this event and this project a reality. Thank you very much.
So if you'll take a moment to give Mr. Battle one more applause, not for what he's done in the medical center, not for what he's doing here, but what he has done for our veterans in the very quick order that he has been the director in Tampa. Mr. Battle. Now I'd like to introduce Captain Darren Vi. Captain Darren Vi has served as command surgeon, the U.S. Central Command since July of 2016. He first served as hospital corpsman in the Navy Reserve before entering active duty as an ensign at the Uniformed Services University of Health Sciences, where he obtained his Doctor of Medicine in 1991. Captain Vi is board certified in anesthesiology and is also qualified diving and submarine medical officer. He previously served as commander of a combat hospital in Afghanistan and as command surgeon for the U.S. Pacific Fleet. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Vi.
Good morning, everyone. Congressman Buchanan, Director Battle, Director Lizard, congressional representatives, civic and business leaders, all the active duty and veterans who are here today, friends, family, and staff of the James A. Haley Veterans Hospital. It's a true honor to be here and speak to you today on this momentous occasion as we break ground for the South Hillsborough County Outpatient Clinic. You heard from Director Battle why this clinic's so important. He talked about not only the fact that it'll increase access to our veterans, but that honor that it is to serve in the Veterans Administration in our veterans hospitals and working with those who have served our country. It'll improve access for those veterans living in this area, in the Riverview, Ruskin, Sun City, and Apollo Beach area. Matter of fact, driving in, I think I was ready to sign up my lease and get my veterans benefits and move right in here in the next couple of years. But the bond between the VA and those who have worn the cloth of our nation is much deeper than that. You know, it starts with a promise. That's a promise to every soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, and Coast Guardman that steps foot on the field of battle, that we will be there to take care of you. Never in the history of our nation has that promise been more important than now, and therefore never has the Veterans Administration been more important. As you heard from my bio, I had the privilege of serving as the first United States commanding officer of the NATO Role 3 multinational medical unit in Kandahar, Afghanistan. That unit, we had 85% of our casualties were actually flown in from their point of injury to the hospital. It was a trauma surgical hospital in southern Afghanistan that served all of that area. And we saw unprecedented survival rates. 98% of our patients survived out of the country, flying out of the country, 94% overall survival rates. I saw the great work that our medics, our corpsmen, our nurses, and our doctors performed on the field of battle. We returned more injured service members to their loved ones than in the history of armed conflict. We sent warriors back who had complex injuries, both seen and unseen. Triple, quadruple amputations, horrific perineal injuries and abdominal wounds, but also those with post-traumatic stress and those with traumatic brain injury. I can tell you when you were downrange and you loaded those service members on the back of a C-117, it took a little bit out of you. Because your question was, will they continue to see the great care I know they received here as they come back through our medical system, whether it be to Launch Stool, to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, for those who weren't able to go on and serve in uniform within our VAs. And we took comfort in knowing that no matter where they transitioned, they were going to receive outstanding care in the best system in the history of our nation. Not just the health care they received in the VA, but it's also the fact that they returned to a camaraderie, to a unit, to a capability, to an understanding that they left on the battlefield, that within our health system they were able to return to when they walked in the halls of your facilities. Every time they visit the VA, they're able to share those experiences with their shipmates, with their fellow soldiers, and with their comrades. For the next 60 to 80 years, those lives we saved on the battlefield will be entrusted to the care that you provide the James A. Haley VA and this new South Hillsborough Clinic every day. Thank you for what you do in keeping that promise.
Thank you, Captain Divide. I appreciate the extremely close and strong working relationship that the medical center has with the Big Deal, U.S. Central Command, and SoCom. Thanks, sir. The next speaker is Mr. Timothy W. Lazert, Acting Director for the VA Sunshine Network, or as we call it, VISN-8, which oversees the James A. Haley Veterans Hospital and 7 other VA medical centers in Florida and Puerto Rico. He previously served as the director for the VA Medical Center in Orlando and began his career as an engineering cooperative student at Cleveland, Ohio VA Medical Center, and worked in engineering and facilities management positions at the Indianapolis, Indiana Medical Center, Castle Point, New York Medical Center, and Battle Creek, Michigan Medical Center. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tim Lazard.
Good morning. Thank you for coming today. Well, as mentioned, I'm also an engineer, and I guess the adage is if you want to build something, put 2 engineers in charge of it. And Joe and I worked on a little project down the road in Orlando, the new VA Medical Center there, and again, Joe and his staff will do a great job on this clinic as well. And I'm reminded, you know, as often as we do this, I never get tired of a groundbreaking. Why is that? It's an opportunity for VA to continue, as was mentioned, the promise. It's a new beginning. It's a new way of delivering state-of-the-art healthcare in that we can experiment on taking what we have as a standard design in bricks and mortar and making it better to serve the needs of our veterans in this community. So it's a new, and I'm very happy that we're able to experience that here. As mentioned, I represent roughly 28,000 employees serving those who have worn the great cloth of our military services here in the state of Florida and the Caribbean. And it's a task that we do not take lightly. If you've been to the Orlando VA, there are words on the front of that medical center that constantly remind us what our duty is as an employee. It's for those who served. And likewise for this clinic here in Hillsborough, it'll be for those who served, and a constant reminder, as mentioned, fulfilling the promise. It does link to national strategies that are asked about often. What is the future of VA? From a strategy perspective, Dr. Shulkin, our current secretary, this touches 2 of our national priorities. 1, to modernize the VA system to meet the current demands and needs of our veterans, and 2, to provide access. And access will be measured today, tomorrow, and the next day very differently. We need to be able to flex with whatever the current needs and access issues are for our veterans. The third thing I'd like to mention is just a thank you. Things like this do not happen with federal VA working alone. It takes people working from the county level to the state level, to the national federal level. It takes service organizations, it takes community volunteers, many of which I had the great opportunity of meeting this morning and just saying hello, and I just want to say thank you again. This is a great endeavor for this part of the country, and I did not mention, but Florida is now the 3rd largest veteran population in the country. And last stats I saw was there's 1,000 new people coming to Florida each and every day. And a significant number of those are veterans, based largely on the veteran-friendly laws that have been passed by the state legislature that makes Florida, beyond the sunshine and beaches and whatnot, great weather, a high attraction for our veteran community to come and join us here. So this will serve not only our current veterans in this area, but also future that choose to make Florida their home state. But thank you very much for all the help and coming together and making this a reality. Have a great day.
final speaker today is Honorable Vern Buchanan. Congressman Buchanan is the South Hillsborough area's voice in the United States Congress. He is serving his 6th term and represents Florida 16th Congressional District, which includes South Hillsborough County and is home to more than 70,000 veterans. Originally elected in 2006, Congressman Buchanan served 4 years on the House Veteran Affairs Committee. He authored legislation unanimously passed by the House and Senate that allows all veterans to receive an official ID card, and introduced bipartisan legislation to provide greater resources and training for veterans hoping to become business entrepreneurs. In 2009, he was awarded the Legislative Achievement Award from the Veterans of Foreign Wars. Ladies and gentlemen, Congressman Buchanan.
Some might ask, well, 6th term, where's Vern been? But as you know, we got redistricted. Just quickly for a lot of the people in the room, I had Sarasota, Manatee County. We had very able people in this area, but now I've got redistricting, so it's so exciting to be a part of this today. I did want to mention what Tim mentioned. It's always so exciting to do a new facility. I was involved early in the National Cemetery in Sarasota County, and that turned into a world-class facility. We got a donor to give $12 million to that facility. We built an amphitheater and incredible art. It's meant so much to our veterans and their families in that area. So it's always exciting to do something that's new and exciting. I do want to thank David for emceeing today, and I want to thank all of our folks associated with the James Haley Hospital and Clinic. Let's give them a big round of applause for their leadership. Also, I'd just like to take a minute and can I have all the veterans just raise their hand in the room? Let's give all our veterans a big round of applause for their service. It's an honor. I represent 70,000 veterans, but when you get up there, our budget, I was on the VA committee, I think someone mentioned it's almost, I don't know if you know it, but $200 billion that we spend a year. And my job is to make sure we have probably one of the top 5 districts with the most veterans. And in Florida, I think we have over 2 million veterans, is to make sure we get our fair share in our communities. That National Cemetery, when I take a look at it, we built a facility in Manatee County, it was about 20,000 feet. So when I see a facility like this and what it's going to mean, it's incredible. I met with the folks a few days ago from the hospital, the local hospital, and I asked them at the end when they were giving me the tour, I said, this is one of the fastest growing areas. I know you've put together a forecast, a budget, what you thought you're going to do. And I said, how did you do on your forecast? How did you do on what you're doing in terms of revenue, in terms of the local hospital in South Hillsborough County? He looked over at me and he says, yeah, we had a forecast. We weren't sure. We did 4 to 5 times what we thought we were going to do. And that's what's going to happen here. We're building a 65,000 square foot facility. This is one of the fastest growing areas. I lived in Hillsborough for 7 years, in fact, but this is one of the fastest growing facilities. Florida is one of the fastest growing areas, but this is one of the fastest growing areas in Florida. So I just applaud the visionaries up here getting this facility in place now. I was reading today on actually coming over about the traffic and concerns about traffic in Tampa. Someone said it could take an hour, hour and a half to get downtown Tampa. So this is going to be a gigantic opportunity for all of our veterans here. And let me also just say that the fact that they're going to be able to take care of 10,000 patients a year, to me, is incredible. And they can do it here. They don't have to worry about someone taking them up there, taking the drive up there from that standpoint. So again, I'm just glad to be a part of this team. My job is to make sure, and I did vote for the funding for this facility, but my job is to make sure, as they will, deliver this on time and on budget a year from now. And I'm just glad to be a part of the team. God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you, Congressman Buchanan, and I do appreciate your support for the South Hillsborough Clinic and the Medical Center and the men and women, James A. Haley. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for attending today's ceremony. At this time, we will make our way to the left of the stage, where we'll be performing a ceremonial groundbreaking and taking photos. And after the groundbreaking, everyone is invited to join us for some light refreshments in the back. And again, I want to thank you for joining us today to commemorate the groundbreaking at the future South Hillsborough community-based outpatient clinic. We talk about the wonderful things we do at Haley, And for those in the federal sector, it is a calling. It is one of the most noble missions in all the federal sector. I thank you all for being here. For the men and women that have made this possible, my mantra has always been, if you're not taking care of patients, we're taking care of those that do. And you guys have all done that today. Appreciate it greatly. Thank you all very much. We can make our way to the left for the groundbreaking. Thank you all again.